Throughout history, countless species have vanished, seemingly gone forever. But what if extinction isn't always the end? From ancient creatures thought lost to animals missing for decades, these extraordinary rediscoveries prove that nature still holds its secrets. This footage changes everything we knew about extinction. 30 remarkable species once lost, now captured alive on camera. Some species thought to be lost forever still have stories waiting to be uncovered. The yellow-spotted bellfrog, unseen in the wild for nearly 30 years, was rediscovered on the southern tablelands of New South Wales. Once abundant, their population collapsed in the 1970s, leading many to believe the species was extinct. Following this rediscovery, a few tadpoles were taken to Taronga Zoo in Sydney to start a breeding program. The goal is to restore the frogs to parts of their original habitat, giving this species a second chance at survival. An astonishing discovery has revived hope for a primate species thought to be gone forever. Texas A and M anthropologist Sharon Gursky-Doyen and her team rediscovered pygmy tarsiers, tiny mouse-sized primates not seen alive in 85 years, in the dense forests of Sulawesi. The tiny creatures weigh less than 2 ounces and resemble small gremlins. Previously believed extinct, these creatures were last observed in 1921. They were thought to have vanished until one was accidentally trapped in 2000 by 2 Indonesian scientists while trapping rats in the highlands of Sulawesi. After disappearing for decades, a tiny fish named after a famous river made a heroic return. Not seen since the 1970s, the Batman River loach was rediscovered in October 2021 in southeast Turkey. Researchers searching its former range caught a fleeting shadow in the water and soon found 23 individuals of this species once feared extinct. It was a thrilling comeback after 50 years of silence. The discovery proved that small surviving populations still exist in fragmented habitats. With this knowledge, conservationists can now act to protect and restore the species. The Batman River. Loach's rediscovery reminds us that even the smallest creatures can tell the greatest stories of survival, hope, and persistence. As the sun dips below the prairie horizon, a quiet search begins in Canada's Grasslands National Park, home to one of North America's rarest animals.
What did we have here?
We had a badger here.
How long do you walk normally in a night, do you think?
How many hours?
Carrying spotlights, researchers head into the dark, walking nearly 28 kilometers across the grasslands. Their mission to glimpse the elusive black-footed ferret, presumed extinct in 1979 until it was rediscovered in 1981. This species now symbolizes one of conservation's greatest comebacks.
She would be a year when she was released, yes, last year, so she's 2.
They are just the cutest little killers, these black-footed ferrets.
Then around 1 a.m., success. A sleek predator pops from a prairie dog hole. Once thought gone, black-footed ferrets returned here thanks to decades of effort. After 7 years of absence, they're back, hunting and surviving in the wild. A powerful reminder that hope is never truly lost. Vanished. Since the age of dinosaurs, this ancient fish stunned the world when it swam back into history. Thought to have gone extinct 66 million years ago, the coelacanth was rediscovered in 1938 off South Africa's east coast near the mouth of the Shalumna River. Caught in a shark gill net, its strange fins and scales revealed a living fossil. one that had survived unchanged since prehistoric times. Decades later, divers captured new footage off the coast of Pumala, KwaZulu-Natal, at 70 meters deep on November 22, 2019. The coelacanth's rediscovery remains one of science's most extraordinary moments. A powerful reminder that Earth still holds ancient secrets, swimming quietly beneath the waves of time. Deep in the Australian wilderness, one of the world's most elusive birds makes a remarkable appearance after being presumed extinct for a century. A night parrot perches silently among dense vegetation, its green and yellow plumage camouflaging perfectly with the arid landscape. Once thought lost forever, this ground parrot remains a symbol of survival and resilience. Captured briefly for study and then released, this rare rediscovery sheds light on the fragile existence of species impacted by habitat destruction. Conservationists continue to work tirelessly to protect the night parrot and its vanishing habitat. Deep in the forests of Papua New Guinea, a long-lost bird finally revealed itself after nearly 140 years. This researcher and a local guide journeyed into the heart of the forest searching for the black-naped pheasant pigeon. Most experts believed it was already extinct, unseen for over a century. But their determination paid off. They captured the first sighting of this elusive species in generations. A moment of pure disbelief. The bird's remote home and threats from deforestation and hunting had kept it hidden from science for 140 years. When the researchers finally saw it on camera, emotion took over. Tears, laughter, and celebration. This rediscovery is a reminder that perseverance can bring lost wonders of nature back into the light. After nearly a decade of searching, scientists uncovered a living legend hidden high in the trees.
This is Megakai Pluto, the world's largest bee, and something I've dreamed of seeing for about 9 years. We've been searching for 4 days now. And then
after a 9-year search, a dedicated team of North American and Australian biologists made an astonishing discovery. They found a single female Wallace's giant bee living inside a termite nest, more than 2 meters above the ground, a species once thought lost to time. This massive insect, as long as a human thumb, wields powerful jaws like a stag beetle. It's 4 times larger than a honeybee. Once feared extinct, Wallace's giant bee reminds us how wonder still thrives in the world's most hidden, untouched places. When you think of endangered Australian wildlife, you might picture koalas or Tasmanian devils.
What we're going to be talking about today was actually once abundant on the grasslands west of Melbourne through to Geelong, down here in southern Victoria, which is now one of the most...
But Australia is also home to some of the world's most endangered reptiles, like the Victorian grassland Urlis dragon, a species so elusive that it was thought to be extinct for over 50 years.
And this tiny sliver of habitat, and these animals are now under the care of Zoos Victoria at Melbourne Zoo. Now, these animals are going to be the founding members of basically a conservation and...
But in January 2023, a small miracle occurred. 2 ecologists, conducting field studies on another reptile species, stumbled upon a population of these dragons. This serendipitous discovery brought hope and excitement to conservationists. A rare sighting in the wetlands of Hula Reserve captures an unusual amphibian in its natural environment. A close-up reveals the frog's distinctive dark belly as it remains still among the damp vegetation, its textured skin blending perfectly with the muddy ground. Tiny ripples form around it as it adjusts its position, staying alert to its surroundings. A group of conservationists carefully release the frog onto the damp grass, watching as it adjusts to its surroundings. It remains still for a moment before slowly making its way into the cover of the dense vegetation. After vanishing for 14 years, a tiny toad was brought back to light by one man's relentless search. Rediscovered in 2006 after being feared extinct for over a decade, Atelopus latissimus is a critically endangered toad found deep in Colombia's remote forests. Once thought lost forever, it was found again thanks to one man's determination to explore every hidden corner of the wilderness where few dared to go. Through mud, rain, and endless terrain, his persistence finally paid off. A single Atelopus latissimus appeared, alive against all odds. This rare rediscovery shows how hope and hard work can reignite life where it seemed gone. Even in silence, nature waits for those willing to listen and keep searching. Discover the Solnodon, one of the world's most endangered mammals, currently receiving vital conservation efforts from the Last Survivors Project in the Dominican Republic. The Solenodon, a nocturnal and rare mammal, is seen moving through its natural habitat. Its unique ancient appearance highlights why this species is so special and deserves protection. The dedicated conservation team works tirelessly to protect this remarkable species, whose survival is threatened by habitat loss and predation. Their efforts are crucial to ensuring the Solenodon's future in the wild. Once known only from fossils, this secretive forest hunter surprised the world by showing it never truly vanished. The bush dog, Speauthos venaticus, was first described from fossils and thought extinct in 1842, until a living one was found just a year later in 1843. Small, stocky, and standing only 30 centimeters tall, these rare canines are perfectly built for life on the forest floor of South America. Extremely elusive and rarely seen, bush dogs were recently captured on trap cameras in Ecuador, 3 moving together through dense jungle. These incredible sightings remind us how little we still know about Earth's wild places. Once thought gone, the bush dog quietly proves that nature still hides its greatest surprises. A rare and special sighting of the native Monito del Monte is captured in Quinquijueno, Hualqui, Chile, offering a glimpse of this elusive species. The video shows the careful release of the Monito del Monte into its natural habitat, a touching and significant moment for conservation efforts in the region. It highlights the importance of preserving these endangered species. After being discovered hidden in tree bark, the tiny Monito del Monte is safely relocated to a nearby Robles forest. There, it is released into the wild, returning to its home among the trees, where it can thrive again in its native environment, ensuring its future in the wild. Hidden for more than half a century, a spiny legend has finally emerged from the shadows. Believed to be extinct for over 60 years, Attenborough's long-beaked echidna was rediscovered in late 2023 during an expedition to the remote Cyclops Mountains of Papua, Indonesia. Last seen in 1961, this remarkable creature's reappearance proved it had survived unseen, burrowed deep in one of Earth's least explored regions. The rediscovery has inspired renewed conservation efforts, with zoos and research institutes in several countries working to study and protect this extraordinary species. Named after Sir David Attenborough, the long-beaked echidna's return is a powerful reminder that nature's greatest stories are never truly over. Once feared loss forever, a hidden forest bird finally stepped back into view after decades of silence. The Wago brush turkey was considered missing until 2002. Then for the first time, camera traps captured video of this critically endangered species in the Oro Verde project area. These remarkable images prove that the bird still survives deep in the rainforests of Indonesia's Wago Island. Conservation groups and local partners are now working with Indonesia's Environment and Forestry Ministry to protect its fragile home. Supported by Germany's BMZ, their efforts focus on saving the rainforest and building sustainable livelihoods. The Wago brush turkey's return gives new hope for the wild. Believed extinct for 11 million years, this ancient creature reappeared on a dinner table in Laos.
That's the best picture we've had today. This is my pet.
The Laotian rock rat stunned scientists when its first specimens were discovered in 1996, sold as meat at a local market in Laos. At first, it was thought to belong to a new family, but later studies revealed its ancient roots, linking it to a fossil group lost for millions of years. Now listed as endangered, the Laotian rock rat faces threats from hunting and habitat loss. Conservation groups are working to protect this Lazarus species, whose survival bridges past and present. Once thought gone since prehistoric times, it reminds us that nature still hides living echoes of its ancient history. Once declared extinct for nearly a century, this giant tree lobster crawled back from the edge of oblivion.
Yeah, so this is the Lord Howe Island stick insect. It's also called the phasmid, and it's the rarest.
The Lord Howe Island stick insect, also called the phasmid, vanished in the 1920s after rats invaded its island home. Then, in 2001, scientists made a stunning discovery. Live specimens clinging to Ball's Pyramid, a remote volcanic stack nearby. Once thought gone forever, the world's rarest insect had survived.
And they were almost extinct because of introduced rats or mice or owls, I think.
Now critically endangered, the phasmid is the focus of a global breeding and conservation effort. Calm and completely harmless, it has become a symbol of resilience and hope. Watching it crawl gently in human hands reminds us that even the most fragile creatures can endure against impossible odds. Once known only from fossils, this tiny possum shocked the world when it turned up alive in the mountains. Discovered first in the fossil record in 1895, the mountain pygmy possum was thought long extinct, until a living one was found in 1966. This critically endangered marsupial survives only above the winter snow line in southern New South Wales and northeastern Victoria, hidden among the cold boulder fields of the Australian Alps. Infrared footage captures the mountain pygmy possum moving through the rocks at Charlotte Pass in Kosciuszko National Park. As warming threatens its snowy mountain home, every sighting feels like a miracle. Its survival reminds us how fragile and extraordinary life can be in the world's highest, coldest corners. After more than 100 years of silence, a rare Chilean toad has finally been seen again. Rediscovered in 2020 after not being seen for over a century, Telmotobufo venustus is a rare and elusive amphibian from Chile's Mall region. Once known only from a few scattered sightings, it is now confirmed in several new localities, including the Altos de Lirque National Reserve, its most stable home. Despite this hopeful rediscovery, Telmotobufo venustus remains endangered and faces ongoing threats like habitat loss, pollution, and climate change. Its fragile comeback reminds us how easily unique species can vanish, and how vital it is to protect the wild places where they still survive. Nature's miracles need guardians too. Sometimes even nature's mysteries come from a mix-up rather than a miracle. The great reed warbler was mistakenly thought to have gone extinct in 1991 and rediscovered in 2006. In truth, this species was never lost. It's still common across Europe and Asia. The confusion likely came from another, rarer warbler found in Thailand during a 2006 field study. Despite its global least concern status, the great reed warbler faces real challenges from habitat loss and climate change, especially in Western Europe. Its story reminds us that accurate science matters, and that even abundant species depend on our care to keep their songs echoing through the reeds. Once wiped out in the wild, this shy island bird is now walking its way back to survival. The Guam rail, an omnivorous ground bird, became extinct in the wild in the early 1980s after the invasive brown tree snake devastated its population. Biologists captured the last remaining birds to start a breeding program, saving the species from total extinction and keeping hope alive for Guam's lost wildlife. Thanks to these efforts, the Guam rail is being reintroduced on nearby Rhode Island by the San Diego Zoo and conservation teams. In 2007, a rare video finally captured this elusive bird in motion, proof that patience and protection can bring life back to even the quietest corners of nature. Hidden for decades, a flash of color in the outback revealed a legend was still alive. Thought to be extinct since 1900, Leichhardt's grasshopper, known to indigenous Australians as allure, stunned scientists when a single male was spotted in 1971 near Nurtalangi Rock, Kakadu. Its striking colors made it an instant icon of Australia's wild and resilient landscape. Now seen only in small pockets of Arnhem Land, this rare grasshopper continues to fascinate researchers and locals alike. Its rediscovery proved that even the most vibrant creatures can vanish into nature's camouflage. The Leichhardt's grasshopper stands as a vivid reminder that extinction is not always the final chapter. In a stunning twist of fate, a species thought extinct for over a century has been rediscovered in the heart of the Galapagos Islands. In 2019, a tortoise was discovered on Fernandina Island in the Galapagos, sparking confusion over its identity. Genetic tests confirmed that this elderly female is a member of Chelonoidus fantasticus, a species believed extinct since 1906 after the last known specimen was captured. After thorough testing, scientists confirmed that the tortoise matched the genetic profile of Chelonoidus fantasticus. This incredible find revealed that a species thought to be extinct for over a century still survives on the island. For more than 3 centuries, this bird was a ghost, until it soared back into sight. The Bermuda petrel, also known as the Bermuda coho, vanished in 1620 and was believed extinct for 330 years. Then in 1951, scientists rediscovered it, alive on remote rocky islets off Bermuda. This Lazarus species became a powerful symbol of hope for wildlife thought lost forever. Cameras now record these critically endangered seabirds nesting in their only home on Earth, tiny cliffs and caves along Bermuda's shores. Once gone for centuries, the coho's return shows the resilience of nature and the impact of careful conservation. From extinction's edge, the spirit of survival still takes flight. Feared extinct for decades, one of Britain's largest spiders suddenly reappeared under the autumn moon. The great fox spider, Alopecosa febrilis, had not been recorded in Britain since the 1990s. Then in October 2020, Surrey Wildlife Trust made a thrilling discovery. This elusive hunter was alive. Once feared gone forever, the spider re-emerged after more than 20 years, proving nature still holds surprises. This footage, captured by research and monitoring teams, shows the great fox spider roaming its sandy habitat. Red listed as critically endangered, it's one of the UK's rarest arachnids. Its rediscovery reminds us that even in familiar lands, mysteries remain, and that every species deserves a second chance to survive. Once known only from fossils, this ancient toad stunned the world when it was found alive. Described from fossil remains in 1977, the Majorcan midwife toad, Elates mulatensis, was discovered alive just 2 years later, in 1979. In this rare footage, a male toad proudly carries his first clutch of eggs inside a dimly lit cave, showing a deep, caring bond rarely seen in amphibians. He guards the eggs closely, protecting them until they're ready to hatch. This careful devotion makes the Majorcan midwife toad one of nature's most dedicated parents. Once thought extinct, its survival reminds us how fragile and yet how resilient life can be in the hidden corners of our planet. Hidden for decades, a mysterious spider has crept into the spotlight. First described in 2006 from Portugal and Spain, the trapdoor spider Iberesia machadoi was once included in the genus Nemesia, whose earliest related specimens were recorded in 1931. It belongs to a genus of burrowing spiders found only on the Iberian Peninsula. Hidden underground, it escaped notice for decades until scientists documented it through modern studies. Named in honor of Portuguese zoologist Antonio de Barros Machado, who first saw the importance of spinneret structure in these spiders, Iberesia machadoi now helps reveal the secrets of its family. Once overlooked, it stands as proof that even the smallest creatures can rewrite the story of life on Earth. For years, it was believed to be gone forever, until a surprising splash proved everyone wrong.
And I released them. And here we have one of their descendants. a not biologically
The burulong frog, Latoria burulongensis, was once feared extinct across much of its range during the 1990s. Then, on January 27, 2010, one was spotted alive in a wallaby's water dish. Proof of life. This tiny survivor was among the few to make it through Australia's long, harsh drought.
That's using the digit.
Since then, conservation programs in New South Wales and Victoria have worked to restore its habitats and boost numbers in the wild. The burulong frog's return reminds us that hope and life can endure even when all seems lost. Sometimes nature just needs a second chance. This is the story of a rare frog that returned from the edge of extinction. What you're seeing here is no ordinary frog. This is the Paramo black jambato, also called Atelopus ignescens. It lives high in the cold Andes mountains of Ecuador. Its shiny black skin and bright orange belly make it stand out, but also remind us how close it came to disappearing forever. Thought to be extinct since its last recorded sighting in 1988, the Paramo black jambato amazed scientists when it was rediscovered in 2016. This incredible comeback gives hope for other endangered species still hidden in nature's shadows. The story of its return reminds us that life always finds a way.